Anyway, Selfish and myself will take you through game 2. Let's go, Big Man. GX on red, and already that Varus, that sneaky little Varus taken off the board. Annie, this is just no-brainers at the moment as Jax against Lot, when that's his most played historically and one of his best champions, is a good ban.
I imagine we're going to continue to see the Vi ban as well. Could end up swapping it up if you really want to try and look for something like a Pantheon or even the Xayah, where you think maybe you can take it in the early stages. Because we have seen, like, once you start to move down into this position, Xayah starts to become a bit more present, Ezreal can as well, which have an easier time of dealing with the Vi, although some teams are still just happy to just continue to get rid of it.
Let's see if Cheese Grater Abs gets locked in or banned away in this final rotation. Yone is gone.
I'm going to need you to elaborate on that.
Well, I mean, he's pretty shredded. Sion gets picked up and set.
Oh, Cheese Grater Abs.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's on fire. It's that tanky. What goes on in the core of Sion's belly, I will never know, but it is red and it hurts people. Now, question is, GX, do they just get in a smart mid-jungle duo when Azir, Talia are already unavailable? That seems like the direction that they want to go.
Yeah, I like the Zhao pick. Gives you something that can be quite active in the early stages. We've also seen this paired a lot of the times with an Orianna, which you could take on this rotation. Ends up giving that protection that you want. Also, the slowdown enables him in a lot of skirmishes to get that third auto attack off and try and set up for some early presence. So, looks like that's going to be the call here. Just try and give that shielding and what's the word I'm looking for? The
ball.
Control to zip down the early stages.
Control is a word associated with Orianna. Vi also up, banned away last time around. And if I'm MKOI, I think Vi and what pairing? It's a good mystery, isn't it? Vi Syndra's up. But Jojo, Vi Ari's up, and there he is. Look at, you can see the apps from here.
The options there are still more. I know the casting is kind of been over because Jojo has played in the past, has looked relatively good on it. I still think going for something that's a bit more playing for the 2v2 in the mid jungle is going to work out better. So I wouldn't be surprised to see something like an Ari or something along those lines even come out here with the Pantheon. Galio. There you go. Yeah. Still fits very, very well with that.
So again, lane might be rough a little bit, but Ari past 6.
My also worry is very little damage on MKOI right now.
That is true.
You start to move into the later portion of the game. So if I'm GIANTX, I'm looking at Jinx bans, I'm looking at Aphelios bans, just trying to get rid of those hyper carries and really late game scaling carries. We'll have to see what the game plan is going to be though. I like going for a tank on this one, just to give you that really beefy front line, especially if you can start to get rid of some of those hyper carries, making things difficult for MKOI.
I mean, not a bad lane for Lot. This will be fun to watch as well. Double AP solo lanes, and as you said, that Jinx, the first ban taken away. Hyper carries denied from MKOI, and Siv's not up and available. I'm trying to think of a hyper carry like Yunara might have to be played here for MKOI for this front to back.
It's difficult, man. At least the Bork with the getting the extra percent current max health damage does help on range carries. Yeah. Maybe, but a Aphelios ban I'm surprised to see from MKOI, because I thought that would have been the ban that GIANTX were going to go for, especially with Sivir gone.
They make it harder for themselves, don't they?
Yeah, it's...
There's Yunara.
Yeah. So Yunara, as you're saying, probably the other one that I'd look out for that could really take or deal damage to tanks. Maybe Zeri or Xayah is kind of what they're eyeing up here.
Yeah. But GX had the option to just pick away the one they want. And then MKOI are in a bit of a hole. If they ban another 80 carry here, I mean, maybe it's just going to be a support ban. There's a lot of questions so far. There goes Lucian as well. Not that they would have picked it, right? But there's Xayah. So, yeah, does it have to be Zeri gameplay, Dagda? Is that what we got?
It's probably Zeri, in my eyes. You just need something that's going to really scale well and can be that consistent DPS. If you go Ezreal, I don't think you can get through the Cho'Gath as well as you want to, or even some of the front line that's there. I think you need something that's a bit more of a heavy hitter.
For now, MKOI are focused on taking away the pairing from GIANTX, but as you said, like, Zeri a big option.
Smolder maybe, but I don't particularly like the matchup. He did get some buffs to make it easier for him in the early game, but I don't know.
There is range engaged though, like Zhao, Gap Close, Orianna, and Cho'Gath. Maybe hard for the Smolder to operate, but yeah, it feels like MKOI in a bit of a ditch here. I don't know. It's interesting. Like maybe there's an 80 carry that's just out of the window. We haven't thought about Ezreal here. But if that Cho'Gath goes full tank with Heartsteel, which he probably will, right?
It's with Heartsteel. Well, I don't know about Heartsteel, but definitely very, very tanky. Yeah, plus Orianna shields. Plus the speed up. Same when it comes to Zhao. it just is going to be quite difficult to get through the front line.
Yep.
Now you're going to add in another pseudo tank in Rell, who's going to be doing at least a good amount in the early stages. I think it's just hard for MKOI, if they don't get out to an early lead, to really carry this victory.
Because you talked about in the first 3 picks, DPS in this comp is quite low. Ezreal comes in as a spellcaster, a spell weaver, and he doesn't facilitate that need for something like a Jinx, something like the front to back, something that Xayah even would have. Here for MKOI, they're kind of throwing a spanner in the works, and as you said, they want good early games here, but GIANTX, their comp, you know, well-rounded here. I think it's easy to say, and it might seem like bias, but it's just with the way they've kind of set up their comp as, I don't know, easy to execute, Dagda? Where do you want to hit on that?
I think when it comes to team fights and objectives, easier to execute for GIANTX 100%.
Yep.
When it comes to playing the map, that's where I think MKOI shine a little bit better. You have an Ezreal that's very safe to be by himself on his own in the mid lane. You can start to play with this duo of Pantheon and Galio, look for overloading one of these side lanes, trying to pick members off, especially something like an Orianna, very susceptible to those plays in the side lane. I imagine that's the focus of attack here coming through for MKOI, and it'll be a case of can they snowball that into a lead.
It's a good question. MKOI, your first seed out of spring, your #1 MSI representatives. I mean, this is a team with huge expectations. The Spanish fans have a high bar set for them. But their first series back has not been it. It's been scrappy, it's been messy, but hopefully game 2 will prove us wrong and show us that this comp can get off to a roaring start. Welcome back to Summoner's Rift, and let's see how GIANTX can try and close this one out, because that would be a big statement. Again, we've talked about it. We're obviously hyped for them. It's a team who has middling expectations, known to be caught out mid-game as someone like Jackie's, but even GX, you know, not being able to complete a good early start is, okay, we're just going to battle up a little bit. Yeah, let's get grasp. Oh, hell yeah. Myrwn, did he get his grasp, Dagda?
Oh, both are reset.
Oh.
I think he did.
Well, that's good.
4 seconds.
Dopamine hit from both.
Yeah, so either way, it's definitely a lot of pressure on towards Elyoya and Jojopyun to have a bit of a stronger mid-jungle than they did in the last game. I'd say that Isma and Jun were able to have a bit more of that early game impact, especially, let's be honest, the early level 2 death on bot lane didn't help, and then Locke getting the solo kill in the top lane.
True.
So we'll have to see if they can try and set up, but I think even if MKOI end up losing this game and they go down 0-2 in the series, it is only their first game back. It is only their first day back. They've had a very, very intense schedule.
Yeah, they have.
I'm not really overly concerned. I mean, even heard Caps talking about it coming in off the desk of how have you adjusted to what is a slightly different meta and a new meta, and even getting your practice games and stuff in. So I'm not overly worried if MKOI have a bit of a shaky start coming into the split. I still think they'll pick it up definitely for in time for playoffs and moving on.
I mean, they've got leeway of like 1, maybe 2 series, depending on how the rest of the group goes. We've talked a lot about the groups, but a quick side note for GX, Noah is once again on a carry that can really snowball, and in game 1, he tied the kill record for all-time LEC with Kazi at 1,200 damage a minute. Not bad, you know, not really bad. And that is one hell of a scoreline for their 3rd series back.
Just the ability to play around this bottom side has been so good for GIANTX.
Yeah.
Loss has consistently kind of gone back towards things that can play the weak side and not have to take too much attention, which is just open up Isma to try and swing in and play with Jun competitively on around the bot side. Also open that up for Jackie's as well. And it's given GIANTX a much clearer game plan. Even now, Isma hovering around mid here, just making sure Jackie's can get this crash.
Treasure's one is in a little bit of trouble there, though, because range versus melee, he's suffering a bit for now. As that crash comes in, CS is not really an argument. It's good on Jojo's end as Supa. So far, the 2v2 has been in their favor, but he stepped up. He gets flash shattering strike, and he gets rooted. Disrespect from Supa as he uses everything to get out, but the follow-up is easy. It happens again! Deja vu. I've been in this place before in this exact same lane. And Noah gets first blood.
Great engage from Jun, denying Supa any sort of answer there. This is a disaster. Exactly as you say, game 1 repeat here.
Stepping up, I mean, Jun's timing fantastic, but Supa stepping up to that, thinking he's going to be level 5 fine, and even at level 2. I mean, that is more than a disaster. That is just a repetition of game number 1, and with the early lead, early blood over to Noah. He's going to be a menace again for sure. As we come back into the 2v2, good timing here. Jun is going to stop with an engage from Alvaro. Crash down there too. Isma in the area as well. Alvaro, yeah, he had no flash available, but luckily Supa was nearby.
Able to give him the bounce out. Still taking a lot of hurt. Alvaro will need to reset. And you can see Jun is just sticking around, is trying to deny any sort of like wave crash or any sort of footy business from Supa on this bottom side until Noah can come back in. Elyoya getting at least a steal on the opposite side when he saw where Isma was.
And Isma's going to be even late for the small Krugs, or small Raptors rather. Red already been taken out. Elyoya, there's going to be a lead here on the Pantheon. And remember, this Pantheon, even after a slight nerf, still feels like one of the strongest early skirmishes, or should I say, good early clearer as well.
Yeah, his 1v1 is terrifying. But either way, I think it's just a nice time to find that invade, especially as you can kind of keep track now of Raptor spawns and try and look for repeat invades onto that point.
Myrwn in
Isma
trouble.
top side.
He's deep here. No level 6 to escape Myrwn. Won't get it off the minion wave either. He's just only got there as Rapture up and Myrwn flashes out. In the brush still. He thinks for now it was just Lot, but the wave slowly pushing where Myrwn's no longer in trouble.
There is a timing window here when Elyoya can finish that camp and then move up towards his top side.
Oh, yeah.
Lot hasn't actually pushed in this wave, and he may try. No, he looks like he's going to go back for his crab. Could have looked for a potential play on top side, but I think seeing Myrwn had no mana meant that he was a little skeptical about trying to make that play work.
So, but the top laners are safe for now. But the individual 1v1's going Lot's way, and Lot has had a really good day. Like, we didn't get to talk about him much outside the laning phase, but as he gets himself a bit of a demolish on the turret, gold taken. Elyoya doesn't have the ult to spam into the middle, and he's going to actually path back down towards bot. So nothing available here for MKOI in the top side of the map.
And you're going to be very happy with that. Again, Lot just building these leads for himself.
Yeah.
Just getting the early turret plate is going to be huge. He can reset, and again, there's not really someone who can shred through Lot. So the earlier he can get up to some of these resistances, the more terrifying he is going to be. And you get to now focus his Isma down towards this bottom side again. And you've got a great freeze here for Noah and Jun, which opens up that opportunity for Isma.
Good Supa trying to get some damage down. Isma's on the way as well. Alvaro disengaged, but Jun's looking to remount and Arcane shift away. Supa still doesn't have flash available from the earlier mishap, and that means that he is a bit more vulnerable. Barrier will give him some leeway, but as the wave continues to be in an uncomfortable position, we see junglers focusing around bot, now moving towards mid. Shockwave burn. Jackie's has an opportunity, but Jojo out of the distance range, and he'll just walk out to escape.
Engage on the bottom side.
He does connect. Wait for the root. Alvaro tethered mid-battle dance as well. He grand entrances out of there as Jun is happy to absorb the damage. Supa in lethal tempo now. The remount from Jun. Meanwhile, the W going on to Scuttle Crab while Jojo interrupts the charge. Audacious away or flash instead, I thought. Maybe he'll go for the crab anyway, but Elyoya is there, and it's a good thing he did not.
The Elyoya was spotted in mid-wave, as he said, so not wanting to give any sort of opportunity to try and come back into this. I like the timing window, though, from Noah and Jun on that bottom side. They saw Jojopyun go low and exit out the top side of the map. No ultimate available for Jojo to try and interrupt in the bottom half of the map, so they look for that all in. Unfortunately, though, weren't quite able to get just as much as they would have liked to, but they still keep themselves in a decent spot.
But for MKOI, I mean, usually in most games we see a lot of commitments to swaps here, but MKOI have stayed in the same lane, and you know, while the 2v2 is up on CS with Supa and Alvaro constantly pushing, it's that kill that's equalizing things. It's that kill that for Noah has him in a comfortable position in maybe a lane that you wouldn't expect him to win, and of course it's off that mishap. Cull and Tyr picked up by Supa, by the way, and Cull still stacking here for Noah nice and early, but his back is going to get a BF sword. So versus Sheen, maybe the power feels equal here, but it's good power nevertheless.
Both AD carries moving up to the top side, seeing if they can get involved in what looks like the Void Grub. Myrwn going to ult to bottom side though, and just try and get some pressure onto the map instead. You will be able to clear out the wave, and you've got no TP on towards a lot, so everything on GIANTX invested in this Void Grub take.
But with the ulti down at bottom, remember, Lot, it's already starting up. He's just on grubs. I was like, okay. He's not going to try and walk up the top. He's instead just going to commit and get down quicker grubs. He eats one of them, so 2 stacks now. For the Cho'Gath, there's all 3 grubs over to GIANTX in this game. True Shot Barrage won't steal anything, and GIANTX now looking for a fight. And rematching lanes. The 2v2 goes into Supa and Alvaro again with Jun and Noah.
GIANTX just escorting Jun and Noah into the way so they can collect it. You have lost a good amount on that bottom side though. lost, hasn't picked up the wave, had no TP to get there. Myrwn should be running Demolish, so a lot of alone time.
He's got Shield Bash this game,
Shield Bash, was it? Okay.
So I guess that's the only saving grace, but you're right, he got a lot of alone time with the turret, and it's worth mentioning that, again, he's mitigated some of the CS lead that Lot had earlier in the game, plus the Dragon for MKOI. It is an objective traded at the start, which is still good for the Spanish fans. Well, it depends which Spanish fans. Both Spanish fans. All the Spanish fans.
GIANTX are in a position where they can try and continue to put pressure down around Noah and Jun. The fact you have the early Void Grubs makes it very good in being able to take that, obviously take the tower, but it has also denied the side lane pressure that we were talking about from MKOI, where they wanted to try and play around Jojo and Elyoya and like double up on the side lane control. If you don't have the Void Grubs, finding that quick pick into an even faster tower take becomes a little bit more difficult. So I think that's why we saw GIANTX invest so many resources into taking it.
It's still so important. I mean, those grubs as well. Remember, there is Demolish on Lot. There's flashing away. Elyoya coming in as well. He has flash too. Question is, do they have enough damage? Getting a bit of movement speed is nice. The smite up as well. Rupture on top won't connect. Decimating smash, but silence perfectly done from Lot. And yeah, MKOI, really hard to get the damage here, but it will force Lot to back away.
It means that you get two nice resets here for GIANTX. On the top side, Noah's able to get his reset off. Now he's going to try and move into this bottom side and match Myrwn. On the opposite as well, Jackie's able to get his reset down. Not quite up towards his full item yet, but it just fine because Jojo had shifted down to try and cover in case anyone on GIANTX showed up. So now Jojo has to try and reset and give GIANTX a little bit of a timing window on the map to try and make something happen.
Well placed down. Alvaro just tagged out. Nothing up for a little bit. 3 minutes on the Dragon. Top side of the map. Herald's far away from spawning. I just feel like both these early games, I mean, it was first 10 with Caps before. I felt bad because for Caps it was a slower early game, and then he left and things started happening.
This is something we've started to see a little bit more with the Orianna. So last week it was, we are going to stick to Orianna in the side lane, and we're going to use both jungle and support to camp the side of the map that she's on to guarantee the resources that she needs. But more often we're seeing her now this week kind of being paired with an AD carry that can self-peel and is comfortable to be in a side lane. And it means that the Orianna kind of gets to stick around the mid lane by herself. But now, as I say it, Isma and Jun actually trying to play around Noah on this side, guarantee the wave crash, and maybe with the collapse from MKOI coming through, but they're going to just back away.
Like if Isma fights and Elyoya is there, it's still going to be trouble because Sundered Sky picked up already for this Pantheon. And it is just off that lead. Elyoya started crewing for himself. CS discrepancy shown in the charts. And while we are chilling in this early game, just a quick note that I see double Giants belt for Lot. So bring it on. Time to steal some hearts, I think, Dagda.
I mean, he already has yours.
He does. All the players do. You know that. Gage from Jun. Good little step back. Crash down stops everything. Elyoya rooted up. Spears out. Noah sidestepping everything as Alvaro now needs to get out of there as well. He dances and he battles, and this time it looks like he's walking away from the battle. Supa disappearing as well. Nothing up, just a fight that could have potentially happened, does not.
It's kind of been the story of this early game, to be honest. We got that initial bash from GIANTX where they're able to get the kill on towards Noah, but since then it's been much of a slower paced game. And I do think in the grand scheme of things, this does favor GIANTX. They're happy to wait for Jackie Scalene's play towards those late game fights where the Cho'Gath becomes that menace in the front line. So for MKOI, this is kind of where I want to see them finding opportunities on the side lane. But it is kind of difficult. I mean, Lot, very difficult to take down. We've already seen it. They're not leaving that Orianna on a side lane, like we just talked about, to be that vulnerable point on the map. And if you try and go for Noah, he has Flash, he has Cleanse, he has the Featherstorm. It's difficult for MKOI to pinpoint parts in the map where they can actually make plays.
It's a minute till Dragon. Vedius, this is a fight. Sorry, your name is Dagda. I was with Vedius a lot today.
I was going to say, I don't know if I can do the Welsh accent.
Yeah. No, I put Vedius in a fridge earlier on. If you're wondering how, we took all the shelves out and the work fridge became his fridge because I tried to fit into it. And we did some WhatsApp recording.
Which is mad, because a lot of the times you call people units, so I assumed that you would be in the fridge.
Well, the thing is, little did you know, if you take all the shelves out, you can probably fit in a fridge. The bigger the fridge, the more comfortable.
I mean, isn't that what Indiana Jones did? He hid in the fridge.
Did he? Did he
I
actually?
think it was when, an explosion went off. He hid in the fridge.
I haven't watched enough of the movies. All I know is the totem thing, you know.
Yeah,
This is one of the yeah, but the totem thing, that happens, you know? Jackie's has phase rush, he's out of there. And now he's back in. Windfall means nothing. Let's command attack a little bit. Let's throw a spear out. Alvaro says no. And yeah, you know, my bucket list now ticked off, by the way. Out of everything I wanted to do, putting Vedius in a fridge was #1 on it.
You got a very weird bucket.
Oh, you should see the other stuff. Dracos, get ready. You are next. All right, teleport in. GIANTX going to start the fight now. Supa, he's just arcane shifted out of there. As Lot joins in, all 5 members in. And MKOI, the same can be said unless Jojo doesn't choose to ulti from afar.
Jojo doesn't need to. He can go for the tower instead. GIANTX now have to be the ones to start it up. Jun looking for Supa.
Engage, misses onto an Ezreal. That was ambitious. Jun now exhausted out, or rather sent one on to Elyoya, who gets burnt. The charm was good, but Alvaro has lost part of his damage. This is what we're talking about, Dagda. They flash away, and Supa's really the main damage source. GX stand tall.
With Elyoya gone, no contest, and you just get the jump. It looked good. The fact that Supa was able to disengage from that, maybe they could have tried to play it slower, but they don't really get anything. No tower, no kills, no dragon. GIANTX get away with murder there.
Yeah, Noah just uses Cleanse, uses Featherstorm, and out he flies. How hard again it is if MKOI don't have an early game goal lead. They definitely know if the Racist Dragon goes down and we watch the fight again.
Yeah, I like this slow play because they can look for the tower and Jojo can come in, but Elyoya goes in, immediate exhaust, then the knockup, and Alvaro tries to go into the backline, but Noah gets a great ultimate off, which denies really that setup. Myrwn's not really doing particularly much in being able to deal the damage that you need, so it has to rely on Supa, but he's just not really in a position to get that damage off in that spot.
Jun cut out, crashed down, he's away. You know, if Supa's not hitting, that also is a cause for concern. Only one item on the Ezreal with Trinity Force, but he should get there as Herald's going to start off now. Now Dagda, MKOI are uncontested for now, but they're looking for a play in mid lane. Jun is hovering around Vision, hovering around Supa, hovering around Alvaro. There's a rupture up, Lot comes in, and Alvaro, it's Rakan, he's not in trouble. There's the engage, onto Myrwn. Herald's going to be restarted while mid laners are fighting each other in the side lane, and GX just take control.
MKOI can't actually go for the play because Lost and Isma will be able to steal it. The player on the bottom side,
Jojo. Jackie's getting close. Jojo in trouble, dissonance there, a couple of autos, command attack, and Jojo survives for now. He has teleport, but he definitely doesn't want to TP back to bot lane. Otherwise, top is screwed.
Myrwn moving down river, will be spotted by Isma. A lot of play around here just to contest mid wave and top wave so he can move in towards the objective. Question is, where does Jackie's go to? Jojo's walking back to bot lane, keeping that teleport up.
He's going to miss the wave, though. I mean, that teleport, there's a ward pinged on the back of the pit. First teleport's going to come through from Jackie's. Jojo teleports 2 seconds later. GIANTX, the Herald's still not taken. We are weaving between. He's TP'd in front of everyone again with the Magnustorm and a Root. He won't be able to move. It's good damage as Isma negates it all, but the engage from Alvaro would be great if they had some AoE. The feathers are out as Elyoya is the one to pierce the heart with a spear. And Myrwn, the point-blank ulti, will get the job done. GIANTX, a shockwave finally comes through as Alvaro is the trade-off, but with Lot running out of mana, Elyoya sinks where they stand.
MKOI rally around Jojo in what looked like could have been a huge mistake, but MKOI are able to turn it around.
I feel like there's so many conditions that need to be hit, and MKOI hit them all in this fight.
So we get the engage on towards Jojo, and it's kind of Noah who's caught out on the backline here, has to try and move forward. Flashes forward, sorry, to get into a position that's away from the backline, but it leaves him then very vulnerable in this position, and a great reposition from Supa alongside that engage on the backline. MKOI, really good turnaround in that play.
That point-blank Myrwn ulti was unreal, but Elyoya's damage, I think, was a big part of it as well. I said he sinks where he stands, but he was sinking them where he was standing over GIANTX's grave after that fight. It's heating up. Game 2 is a little bit slow to start, but finally we get our first major fight in mid laners. Big part of it, at least in this game, but I think Myrwn, most of his damage just came off the back of that fight as well.
Now MKOI feeling much more confident to step onto the map. Trying to get vision on this bottom side. Look for a play where they push in mid. There's the check mark. Now move into the bottom side and look for that tier 1 tower. GIANTX doing a decent job of defending already with Isma and Jun hovering between both positions. But MKOI would really like to try and get some of the standing gold on the map.
And a Mountain Soul, or rather Mountain Dragon, I should say, at least for now, is going to be big. The Herald going to be used for pressure, obviously, but I think for MKOI, the individual stats of the first Mountain Dragon makes Myrwn that much more of a pain to kill, and base damage of tanks in this point of the game. Forget that argument for the time being, because it's going to be huge damage coming out if he gets another big one like he just did. Looking for Jackies over the wall, but the ball spots all. And MKOI moving in, trying to get themselves a bit of damage on the turret. They have no grub. Shockwave clears away, but not enough. MKOI siege successful, and a bit more gold in their pocket.
I'm surprised that GIANTX tried to contest it as heavy as they could. You don't have your Shockwave now for the Dragon in 50 seconds. You're not really pushing in topside to guarantee a trade of the objectives. And now you've already lost that bot tower, which was going to fall regardless with the position on the map. So MKOI doing a good job of putting the pressure on. GIANTX fumbling a little bit on the defense.
We need a call, Dagda. We need a call. 35 seconds. We need a call from you specifically. Items, what do you think? Because I'm seeing almost 2-item Ezreal from Supa. Noah kind of trailing there, but we know the Xayah's got a bit more to weave in for scaling. Where do you sit?
At this stage, I think MKOI just have us. You're hitting a really strong spike for Supa, Jojo. You're in a great position with Jackie's knocked. Actually, maybe it will actually just be back up, but here we go.
Lots in, needs a rupture, but Jojo's out of there. Good justice punch. Isma zoning off the rest of MKOI's chivalry from moving into position, and Supa, the poke important here. I feel like Isma doesn't want to pop that ult before the fight begins. Elyoya's coming in as well, but on a ward he's spotted out. Topside Rakan, is that the trade?
But again, look at you got position here and position coming up river as well for Jojo. So again, you're kind of being pinched here by GIANTX, and if you get access to nowhere, he's separated. You can see already he can go down fast.
Hit big by Supa, the range big, and Supa might be speaking German. I see a guten Tag when I know one is should hit on the wall. Mystic shot again. Myrwn has to get out and doesn't have a flash, but he re-engages, setting up with the decimating smash. The Galio lay it on top. MKOI's fights are off to the races. Finally, two-man shield of Duran. MKOI with the winds of war, bring them all, and Noah has to send back before he falls. Teleport back in. This time, it's personal from Jackie's, but his Shockwave's not up and available. Herald's down, and MKOI have the river to themselves. Cheeky TP, but it works out in the end for Movistar KOI.
Great read from MKOI. Hitting again those one-item spikes is so strong for this composition, and the position that they had was great. Supa, again, shout out to this guy, moving right the way into the back line, was threatening Noah the entire time that they were positioning for that fight.
It's, what's his name, Jurassic Park. What's the thing?
Tyrannosaurus Rex?
Yeah, that's a dinosaur, and I forgot it. I even played Dinosaur Dex, and I forgot it. Actually,
yeah, but they've got weird names. So.
Yeah, they do. They definitely do, but they're cool names, you know. It does feel like we're watching, you know, like King Kong versus, you know, Tyrannosaurus Rex, Jurassic Park. You know what I'm talking. We know what I'm talking. Everyone knows the Godzilla. Why couldn't you help me there?
It's sometimes nice to just watch you fall for a bit.
Yeah, but I don't know where I am. I'm scared. I want to know. Lots sent up. This is getting a little bit harder as Supa just walks up mid and takes turret. Okay, 2-item Ezreal, easily done. MKOI in a much better position. We had concerns about damage, but these last couple of fights have been so well orchestrated as Jun is just taking down, or getting taken down by Supa himself. By himself, a Mystic shot would have connected and dealt the worst damage. Supa getting confident here in game 2.
He's playing fantastically this game, and again, he needed to. He kind of had to be the damage dealer, had to be a massive threat, and he's not even playing the fights really front to back. It's how he's been positioning to constantly get access onto key members in the fights has been fantastic.
Supa glazing hasn't come this series because Supa hasn't had the need to. I mean, yes, he's had big moments, but as we start Rakan, let's see how he enters the fight. 2 items with a pickaxe versus the very quick FLICKR blades from Noah. It begins Dagda, Rakan at 1k, but there's a double smite with the feet. Remember that.
Positioning good here from GIANTX. Supa trying to see if he can get in onto this wall and have access to the back line, but it's going down slowly.
Alvaro's the only one zone controlling. Decimating smash not connecting. Myrwn playing his own zone control nowhere. Ults are back. The Galio Hero's entrance is big, but look, the separation. Meanwhile, Myrwn is the full target. GX are just letting Noah unleash, but he can't kill the tank. Running in, Jojo takes the glory, while Supa plays the backhand so damn well. He'll shift in, shift out, GIANTX have been rooted out.
GIANTX couldn't keep their carry safe. MKOI jumped on them from every angle and turned the Rakan in favor of MKOI.
Feels like Movistar KOI finally woke up in the series, and with Rakan getting taken down, that feels like an insurmountable lead. Let's watch the fight one more time.
But watch how the fight gets split. Noah's on one side, Jackie's on the other side with Jun, which makes it really difficult to keep the Orianna safe. Same when you look at Noah, ends up trying to get through the Sion, but he's just not able to do so. Even getting hit up by the decimating smash means that MKOI can finish off Noah. And once that carry duo is gone, that's actually where GIANTX are struggling.
No, please. He has it.
Myrwn real voice or what? Okay, there's the energy with it as well. I don't think I've talked to Myrwn a couple of times. I've not heard that voice from him. I don't know he's been hiding it for so long.
Look, sometimes you gotta go visit your happy place. Myrwn was definitely in his happy place there.
Good to hear. 4.5k gold lead. I feel like Myrwn, you know, in a matchup with easy access to Heartsteel and, you know, true damage that comes from ult, has done pretty well. Alvaro, and he said the same. Rapture doesn't connect. He's just out of there. He's playing with it. And I mean, this is such a better game from Movistar KOI. We talked about their team fighting. We talked about how good they are, especially with a man, rather, like this. Supa's been great as ulti used onto Jackie's. No time to talk about him. Or is there? Over the wall, Shockwave on himself, and guess who is behind? Landing every mystic shot. Jackie is flashing away. Dissonance will help him get some space, but yeah, it was a moment to glaze Supa as Jackie's gets sent away.
Yeah, he has been playing absolutely fantastically, and this was the guy that really stepped up coming in towards the end of playoffs that helped carry them in a lot of the fights.
Noah on Elyoya is going to force the ulti immediately, but he can't move as soon as Noah comes down. He does not survive. Hero's entrance onto Jun, and I mean, Jojo has shown us a bit of heroism in this game. I will admit, as Movistar KOI are taking down numbers.
GIANTX just haven't been able to keep Noah and Jackie safe in these fights. MKOI consistently finding multiple flank angles, getting the double ultimates in onto those key carries to separate the fight and making things easier for them in a skirmish. MKOI have been playing these fights fantastically and getting great picks as well.
And with this snowball, they've got enough damage to take down Baron, just the two of them, Elyoya and Supa, while the rest of MKOI look for the fight afterwards, maybe look for the zone. Shockwave in on a Rakan, that does nothing. And Baron goes down, 7,500 gold. An easy lead now built at a 3-item Sion that it seems unkillable, as Noah just can't play the game.
The second you're out of position, they're going to jump on you. And it's one ultimate into Alvaro follow-up, into another ultimate, comes down, gets the easy 2 picks. And at this stage, GIANTX are just struggling to keep MKOI out of any position. And that's why you're seeing Jackie's not do any real damage with that ultimate. He's gone for a very defensive build in the Bloodletter's Curse and also having that Seraph's Embrace. So there is no real damage from this Orianna. The only person you really need to look at is Noah, and he's in the sniper's lens right now.
He is, and every time he gets dove on, the CC chain, it just keeps coming out of nowhere. Rakan, Galio, Pantheon, and then eventually the Sion. Like, there is no movement allowed, and every single time someone is a burn. His flash still on cooldown here, and his ulti, that's up at about 10, 15 seconds from now. But meanwhile, MKOI dotting the I's and crossing the T's, 8,500 gold lead, and with this Baron, GIANTX scared to step up. They're looking for small trades onto Alvaro every time, but he's just baiting them. He's wasting their time. Jojo's going to be shockwaved in, but there's a full minion wave here. Shield Duran negates a little bit, and the minions are going to do the work for him.
It was also a bit dangerous from Jackie's. MKOI were in a position to try and cut GIANTX off from that top side. You can see it kind of here, but they end up opting in towards the mid lane turret instead, and they will end up cracking open the base.
All right, base easily done, and both games kind of turn into stomps, like past the 20, 25-minute mark. They've just been runaways. At least this one got a little bit bloodier, but yeah, MKOI haven't really shown any weakness in their 5v5s, in their small skirmishes. Another Nexus turret, or rather inhibitor turret, going to drop down. Inhibitors next, and I'm sure that Nexus turret won't be a misspeak. That'll be coming shortly. Myrwn zoning them off. His ulti up and available. Now both inhibitors down. Top wave is coming in as well. GIANTX are like, we've got to defend the last turret, but man, where do you defend? It's anarchy. All minions are coming in, and Supa's just stepping up. Arcane shifts away. Baron, cannon, minions for the win, literally. One Nexus turret down, one to go. GIANTX, they're looking like a bunch of chickens right now. Headless they soon will be. Decimating smash, heroic entrance, a shield of Durant, and the winds of water blow down Jackie. GIANTX D in game 2. There's no point adding another X. There's only one this game. And as we go to game 3, it is nice to see our spring champions have finally risen.
Welcome back, MKOI. My word, that was a performance. Start to finish. Great position in team fights. Great position across the board.
Final game of day 1, right after this.